It's nearly Halloween and that means scary movie time. I don't know if you know, but Film Riot are doing a Bloodtober month at the moment, so if you've been inspired by any of the horror films they're putting out, we're gonna give you our top 5 tips for making amazing, scary movies. Tip number 1, be original. Horror movies are filled with cliches, good and bad. It can even help an audience recognize that they're watching a horror movie at all.
A ghost cop!
We're not telling you not to use cliches at all, just to be intelligent with them and to do something different. A couple of movies that have been really smart about this are Cabin in the Woods, which took a bunch of horror cliches and did it really, really well, and then added a surprise twist on top.
It's the Buckners, ladies and gentlemen!
Then you have Dale and Tucker vs. Evil, which again took a bunch of cliches that were really good and added a comedy element to it.
Oh, it's the pancakes! You hate pancakes? I'm gonna make you something else.
Watch it if you haven't, it's really good.
Are you okay?
The important thing is to do something that surprises the viewer, because isn't that the point of horror movies anyway? Tip number 2, give your characters some depth. The reason that Stranger Things was so popular is because the characters were three-dimensional, you believed in them and you cared. Your audience will forgive your character one risky or dangerous thing.
We should split up.
Yeah, good idea. Really?
But if they keep on making stupid decisions throughout the film, your audience are just going to lose empathy and begin to hate the character.
You know the part in scary movies where somebody does something really stupid and everybody hates them for it? This is it.
Tip number 3, use jump scares sparingly. Now, we're not saying not to use jump scares at all, but the more you use them, the less impact they have. So it's much better to build up to a really good one right at the end of your short film. Take a look at our friends Bloody Cuts for a really good example of how this works really well. Tip number 4, it's all about the audio. It's really important that the tone is right and that the music matches the impactful moments of the movie.
Here's Johnny!
That's all very well if you have a composer on board, but most people are going to be looking at using stock music. In this case, you might want to flip it on its head, so maybe you'll go out and look for some stock music that matches the theme of your horror film, and then build the storyboard and the edit around that to make sure that you hit all the right points. Tip 5, it's about what you don't show. When you look back at the older, more suspenseful horror films, it was often about what they didn't show you rather than what they did, because when they did show you the monster, it wasn't very realistic. Bringing it back up to date with Stranger Things, a lot of people found it terrifying when you didn't see the monster in the earlier episodes, but when you got to the last episode and you saw it all the time, suddenly it just wasn't scary anymore. On the plus side, this plays right into the hands of low-budget filmmakers, because then you don't have to spend loads of money on expensive props or VFX to make something that is truly scary. We really hope you found that helpful. Are you making a movie for Halloween? Send it in, I would love to see it. See you next time, bye!